Hola, assalamu alaikum, hello to all the listeners out there. You're listening to a very special episode of Daily with Namana, which host Namana Ahmed. And you're probably thinking, why is this episode very special? Well, today, when you listen to this, which is May 7, 2021, it's actually my one year special. Because it's actually been 1 year since I created the podcast / uploaded my first podcast on all platforms. So yeah, that's why this episode is really special. And so how do I feel about that I've been doing my podcast for practically over a year? Well, I never expected to come as far as I never expected. And loads of people actually listen to my podcast. And the people I've spoken to, they think it's awesome, really interesting. Because at the beginning it was a podcast, but now it's sort of like a radio show called to my auntie Amrina, and a thing. Salam to you. Which that is my definition basically. The podcast for me is more like a radio show, in my opinion. Because I talk a little and then I do the shoot and I talk a bit afterwards. So yeah, practically. I know one person from a college. She got up to me. It was like when I came out the lift. Because I had to use the lift. Because I'm on the top floor of my building, so that's why. And then she was speaking to me. And I'm like, "Oh, are you that girl that does the podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's special." And she thinks it's sick, which is cool in a way. And she's like, awesomeness. I was like, yeah. Because I think she was my first proper fan of my podcast that in my college as well, which is coincidentally, but yeah. So how did I come up with the podcast? Who inspired me and how did I come around with it? So who inspired me? Well, it's my family, my friends, everyone who inspired me throughout the way, brought my confidence up, my mum, my aunties, Auntie Alfred, Auntie Amri, they inspire me the most. There are a lot more people, but yeah, there's main ones. People at my college, they support me. And there are a lot of people out there, people who texted me on Instagram, which is Namana Official. Anyone wants to follow it. That supported, you doing amazing and stuff like that. So yeah, that's more content wise. So basically, originally, so this is how I got into this is how somebody suggested I should do a podcast. So I was on Instagram. I was on Snapchat, just I was watching Boris Johnson's. I think it was one of the first briefing blogging that he ever did. I think it was back in March, April time. It was when he did. No, it was definitely March. Actually, it's March. He was talking about GCSE and how the GCSE exams are scrapped, and as well as A levels. I know a lot of people just A level, and I was talking about why Boris Johnson's scrapping GCSEs and also school closing as well. I was what time should I was saying, basically I was ranting in a way, got my anger out, explaining my how I feel about it and why they shouldn't scrap GCSE, because I did work hard as well, revising wise. I did a lot of notes, and yeah, to be honest, I sort of was happy. I was happy with my grades anyway, alhamdulillah, with the teachers that I got, except for English, but that's another story. Well, even though it was teacher predicted, I was a bit sad that my English teacher did give me a 3, which now I'm retaking. Well, I'm soon to finish English language if I pass this year, which inshallah I hope, because I really want to pass, because I can't be bothered with English anymore. I'm sorry, but I can't be bothered with English. The first paper 1 and paper 2 mock, I did amazing. like not good. Well, like it's like it was like I think it was like 60 something out of 80 for my English mark recently. But I've got like my paper 3. Well, like my new paper 2 mark. Originally was supposed to be question 2 and 4 and 5 men, but paper 2. But they changed to all 5 questions, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah. Where was I? Yeah, so I was on the rant about Boris Johnson, the GCSEs and the school closing, stuff like that. And then one of my mates, she replied to my story, and she said, "Oh, why don't you start a podcast?" And I was like thinking for a while. I was like, I have my own talk show or talk/radio show, or even just a podcast. And I was like discussing with my mate, and we came to decisions like, yeah, sure. But I didn't really start it uploading until like today, when you listen, May 7, as it just took me over a month to think of a name. But yeah, if all wasn't for that idea, and my mate Malika Iqbal, if you're listening, I don't really listen, but yeah, I do. Then I would be here today with all your support and your fans and stuff like that. And yeah, and speaking of that, how did I come up with this podcast name, David Namana? So originally, it was this podcast was like short daily, like podcast. But then, things busy and I didn't get a chance to make it every day. So then I decided to do it monthly. It's also monthly, twice monthly, in a way, maybe 3 times monthly. But then quite a few weeks ago, maybe I think a month ago now, I've been doing weekly podcasts on Sundays because it's just easier for me to upload on Sundays than on Saturdays, because Saturdays is my busy day, sort of. That's how. So yeah, Daily Namana is just my podcast name. Like, it's always gonna be like that. It might be changed to Weekly Namana, I'm not sure. Or that could be my new radio show if I ever get a radio show. I don't know. Just for my head. But yeah, with that intro, it was an app that I don't know which app I had, to be honest. It was like Spitzer, a recording thingy. I just used that for the intro. But yeah, in terms of the actual show name, David Namana, it's basically my name. So Daily, and then with, and my name, Namana. So yeah, that's how I created my podcast name. But yeah, I have been thinking for a while for podcasts before then, or talk/radio show for a while. But until my mate actually texted me about it, I was like 50. I was like, do I really? Do I really not? But then, yeah. If it wasn't for her and everyone else, it's what me. I want to be here with the confidence and all the other stuff. So would I recommend anyone who wants to do like a podcast/talk show? Well, if you're up for it, for the new challenge, and you want to try it, like recording yourself and editing, because editing takes a while sometimes, when you get a chance to, that is. Because I think with me, wait, I'll finish this. Like, try new challenges, and then if you work hard and motivate yourself and people will listen to it, then go for it, in my opinion, personally. But yeah, speaking about editing and that, so basically I record these on Zoom with my new microphone that. Yeah, so I record these on Zoom, my podcasts. I record these on Zoom using this microphone I got, which is Sudo Tacky. So SUDOTACK. So I have to remember the name of it. Sorry. That's the microphone I'm using, by the way, if anyone's wondering. And yeah, like honestly, it's really a good opportunity. I use Anchor. I think it's ANCHOR. It's basically a free website. You can do like unlimited episodes of your podcast, which is amazing. But yeah, so it says episodes. I have to like download it and then put on KineMaster to put into YouTube. I got cover for it, so cover's fine. I just do a simple cover, just put like the podcast name and then the episode and then what the topic is. And then once that's done, I have to like wait to export it and then just upload it into YouTube. And then I didn't really put a title. I saw the title and description, all that later when I get a chance to. But yeah, that's a little behind the scenes of what I do right now. So now I'm actually gonna sing you guys a nasheed/qasida in a way. And yeah, inshallah, I hope you guys enjoy it. It's called Gamarun, because it's my favorite qasida, as well as many others, it's my favorite qasida, as well as many people that I know favorite qasidas. It's also nasheed, but basic qasida is a nasheed for the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So that's why. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. So now I'm going to be singing you guys a cover of Gamarun, and inshallah I hope you guys enjoy it. Gamarun, Gamarun, Gamarun Sidna Nabi, Gamarun وجميل 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 سيدنا النبي وجميل وكف مستذق الورد ينادي الله الله ويتنوي بقي مسؤولة ينادي الله الله وأما ذواتها قل لنبادي وأما ذواتها قل لنبادي وأما ذواتها قل لنبادي حبيب الله يا خير البراء يا قمرون 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 سيدنا النبي قمرون وجميل 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 سيدنا النبي وجميل والذي ظلت بركنا نورا الله الله تنال الشمس منه وله نورا الله الله ولم يقتله ذا لولا نورا ولم يقتله ذا لولا نورا ولم يقتله ذا لولا نورا وقل نودينا رب وقل نودينا يدينها قمرون 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 سيدنا النبي قمرون وجميل 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 سيدنا النبي وجميل. And that was a cover of Gamarun by me, Nimona F.A. So Jazakallah khair for listening to me sing Gamarun as a special treat. So now I'm going to be talking about like some, well, I'm not going to talk, I'm going to give you some advice, some word of wisdom and the future of this podcast. So advice as word of wisdom. Like, when I think about this, I honestly had nothing to say. But honestly, be awesome, be smart, but don't let the haters get up to you. Like, everyone's young at the end of the day. Like, nobody's old. Like, believe in yourself. If you want to do a podcast, go for it. Like it was all thanks to my mates and my family who support me, who created this. Honestly, it could be a monthly podcast, it could be a weekly podcast, it could be a daily podcast. Whatever you got time for, go for it, because honestly, people will love your podcast no matter what. It could be a gaming podcast, it could be like just a talk show podcast, it could be just like like sort of behind the scenes recipe sort of. Honestly, go for it because you actually loved it. My request is don't get like an expensive computer. I use Zoom personally, and just with a mic. That's literally how I use, and just use Anchor to put them together. Like, it's no editing. This is what I say. I might have to pause here and there, but that's all. So honestly, go for it. If you want to, go for it. You don't have to show my you don't have to show your face. As long as all it is there, as long as your people who care for you are fine with you sharing your audio bit around, then go for it. So that was some words of wisdom / advice, and yeah, and so now I'm gonna be talking about like the future, not the future, but you know what I meant. But yeah. So the future for this podcast is, honestly, if I have no really goals. I just like love talking about certain topics, and it's more like a radio show now for me. Like, it was just a normal podcast, but now I can sort of say podcast radio show in a way, in my opinion. So honestly, if anyone wants to be interviewed by me, make sure to message me on Instagram, which is Namana Official, or if you got my number, message me, because yeah, I would like to interview people, like talk to people as well. And we also, I know I've got one planned up in the next couple of weeks actually. I'm not gonna say who, but you already hear from him already. But yeah, so that's just basically what's happening with the future of the podcast. And yeah. So Jazakallah for listening to me talking about advice and the future of the podcast, and Jazakallah for listening to my 1 year anniversary, my 1 year special since I created the podcast. Like, I can't believe it's 1 year. It's been 1 year today since I created my podcast. Honestly, it's just it's been madness. Like, I remember my first podcast being so noisy because my auntie's like, this is the thing about people. If they tell me advice or some suggestions of changes that I should do, I usually pick up the advice, these suggestions, and tweet it on my podcast. Not tweet it. You know what I meant. Like, improve it basically. Like, if there are improvements, make sure to message me because it means the world, and I appreciate a lot, like so much, because any tweet, any improvements or any suggestions, that would be amazing. Even just suggestions of what I should be talking about. But yeah, as a special treat, before we end my 1 year special, I'm actually gonna play like, it's not really a song, it's like a nasheed song thing from the other host of the Happy Empathy Hour, Pam. I don't know if she's listening to this, but I know the other host, Amreen's listening to this, so she might send to her. I think this is what she did with her kids. I think it's about summer. I really loved it, and I decided to share it with you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll leave her YouTube channel and her website down below as well when I get a chance to. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it.
So this song has been written by a 3-year-old a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old. So this is one of the greatest achievement of any singer in their life. And I have to warn you, it's really catchy. Enjoy. 3, 2, 1, go.
We are at Nana's eating food she made for us. She made for us. It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer. It was so yummy, it was so scrummy, we ate it all. It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer. We hate peanut butter, but we love chocolate. We are going to make some donuts and some pancakes. Because it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer.
I'm going to the park.
I'm going to the park. And I love ice cream.
I'm going fishing.
I'm going fishing. Nearly summer, nearly summer, it's nearly summer. We are both nanas, only in the summer. It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer. Mama Tracy, she is so lovely. She sticks up for us. It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer.
All of us, come on, go!
It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer.
Right, guys.
It's summer.
Get your jacket on. We are going to the park. We're going out. Come on. Get ready. To play.
It's sunny. It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer.
Once more, louder! Yeah!
It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer. It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer. It's nearly summer, it's nearly.
Come on, guys. Let's go for a walk.
Let's go for a walk.
That's good. Ready? Yes.
It's nearly summer, it's nearly summer, it's nearly summer. Thank you, Nana.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Welcome back to Daily with Namana, which is Namana Ahmed. I hope you guys enjoy that beautiful song Nasheed from the other host of the Happy Empty Hour, Pam, with her like adopted kids. Troublemakers. I'm actually part of the Troublemakers because she kind of adopted me in a way, not officially, but you know what I meant. Like she has loads of them around like Pakistan and all this stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. It's really nice. Like honestly, they're so cute. Like the voice is so cute. She actually has her own podcast as well, which will be down below in our YouTube channel. It's in the YouTube channel, her YouTube channel area. So go and listen if you haven't. I might be appearing it. Who knows? Just have to wait. You know, the future holds. She's not really well. She's getting there. She said it's not in there, but you know what I mean. Hello. But yeah, once again, Jazakallah khair for listening to Daily with Namana with Namana Ahmed on my 1 year special. Stay tuned on Sunday. There will be another episode as I'll be talking about Eid al-Fitr and the sunnah of eating, and also be doing a few du'as as well, using the names of Allah. And I might do a quote tonight, who knows. But yeah, once again, inshallah, I hope you guys are well and stay tuned. And I also just want to give But while I'm at it, I want to give a early Mubarak to you all. I know it's like a week, and 6 days. No, it's either a week or a day after Eid. When you watch this, because I think Eid's next week actually. But we're talking about on Sunday's episode. But yeah, just like once again, and yeah, hope you guys stay warm in this warm weather. Stay blessed, and peace out for now. Bye.